Where does power rest? Within us. I believe it's within our ability to create. We have the capacity to imagine and envision like no other creature on Earth. We can perceive occurrences in the future that have not yet come to pass and take action to move ourselves closer to them. Whether you identify as a creative or not, you are at the very least a co-creator of your own reality. You may feel the desire bubble up within you to object to this statement. If you do, I urge you to consider from where desire originates. Some say it's of biological origin, while others attribute it to metaphysical forces. I believe it can be both, but ultimately I believe that metaphysical forces inevitably manifest around us in the physical through symbols. If you're interested in learning more about that concept, I definitely recommend a YouTube channel called Formscapes, a fascinating philosopher who gives detailed breakdowns of the concepts that he studied. I'll put a link down in the description for you if that's something you're interested in. I believe that desire is where our power stems from. Desire to create, desire to respond. And if we can focus our energy towards where we can benefit society and benefit our own lives, we evolve and grow. What I mean to say here is this. I believe our power rests in our capacity to create, and that our desires act as fuel for that creative capacity. When we exercise our creativity, whether in daily routine, conversation, or in artistic expression, our rested creative power is activated. I believe this is where our influence over shared reality is engaged. I've come to understand desire as symbolic for potential personal power, in other words, unpracticed creative expression, and as an internal manifestation of the fundamental metaphysical nature of our shared reality. Without desire, existence would stagnate. Change must be desired before a different path can be perceived, and before necessary energy can be drawn from the immaterial to make material change. Where could our free will and individuality originate, if not from desire? With that being said, for many years I've held on to the desire to create and connect via YouTube. It's a platform that, despite its flaws, encourages discourse by providing a platform for creators to express their ideas, their opinions, their knowledge or insight, their inspiration and motivation. I personally believe it's the superior platform because it does allow for long-form content and long comment responses so that there can be more engagement between the creator and the audience that views the creator's productions. I had been on the fence trying to figure out what direction to take. What pulled me out of indecision, out of the desire and into the manifestation of this creative expression was when I allowed the feelings of awe and fascination to take over. I came across a video of David Bowie after I did my first draft of this video, in which I discussed my own fascination of the engagement between creator and audience, but he said it very succinctly, so I'll go ahead and put it here.
I don't think we've even seen the tip of the iceberg. I think the potential of what the internet is going to do to society, both good and bad, is unimaginable. I think we're actually on the cusp of something exhilarating and terrifying.
It's just a tool, though, isn't it?
No, it's not. No. No, it's an alien life form.
What do you think, I mean, when you think then about the
Is
future
there life
of it?
on Mars? Yes, it's just landed here.
But it's simply a different delivery system there. You're arguing about something more profound.
Oh yeah, I'm talking about the actual context and the state of content is going to be so different to anything that we can really envisage at the moment, where the interplay between the user and the provider will be so in simpatico. It's going to crush our ideas of what mediums are all about.
And it's so true. Think about it. A century ago, creators, depending on the type and their status, they didn't have as much access to their audience or the communities with whom their art resonated. Now, in 2024, by the power of the internet, not only do we have the power to connect with our audiences, whom our art impacts, but also to be influenced in a more amplified way by the parts of society that relate to our expressions, or even those who don't, just by engaging with the responses to the video production. In my opinion, this allows both the creator and the audience a deeper connection to collective consciousness. So this is where I invite you, kind soul, who has tuned in thus far, to express your thoughts on the ever-evolving realm of creativity in the comments below. What significance do you think the internet has on our capacity to create and influence the society within which we live? How do you think your media intake impacts your own expressions? While we are discussing creative evolution, I want to recommend this book that has been vital to my own artistic progress. I, at times, struggled to find my inner voice, and my creativity would fall flat due to how I was going about my life. When I read and worked through this book, the creative fire within me was rekindled, and I returned to it often to serve myself reminders. I'm going to share a few segments I pulled directly from the book and also from the margins of the book, where the author included inspiring quotes. This is the book, by the way. It is called The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. It is awesome for anybody who needs rich inspiration, motivation, and wants to delve into their own creative muscle. This book is superb for that. I felt like I was a good artist, but when I read this book, it made me realize how much I lacked intention with my own creativity. So if you find yourself dissatisfied with your own expressions or creations, or you're just wanting to blossom your artistic spirit more, I 100% recommend you get this book. I will also leave a link in the description for this as well. So this is the quote from the very beginning of the book, just to give you a little taste. As artists, we must learn to be self-nourishing. We must become alert enough to consciously replenish our creative resources as we draw on them. Filling the well involves the active pursuit of images to refresh our artistic reservoirs. Art is born in attention. Its midwife is detail. Do what intrigues you. Explore what interests you. Think mystery, not mastery. I skipped around a little bit in that section, but this quote was the beginning of the shift for me in being more mindful about what I give my focus to and where I put my attention, because I want my creative muscle to be refined. This is going to be the last one from the main book and not from the margins. The quality of life is in proportion, always, to the capacity for delight. The capacity for delight is the gift of paying attention. Attention is an act of connection. That's the inside of the book, and then you can kind of see in the margins there inspirational quotes. To live a creative life, we must lose our fear of being wrong. Joseph Chilton Pierce. Every time you don't follow your inner guidance, you feel a loss of energy, loss of power, a sense of spiritual deadness. Shakti Gawain. Another one by Shakti Gawain. We will discover the nature of our particular genius when we stop trying to conform to our own or to other people's models, learn to be ourselves, and allow our natural channel to open. That one seems specifically relevant. Artists who seek perfection in everything are those who cannot attain it in anything. Eugene Delacroix. There is a vitality, a life force, an energy, a quickening that is translated through you into action. Because there is only one of you in all time, this expression is unique. And if you block it, it will never exist through any other medium and will be lost. Martha Graham. Living is a form of not being sure, not knowing what next or how. The moment you know how, you begin to die a little. The artist never entirely knows. We guess. We may be wrong, but we take leap after leap in the dark. Agnes de Mille. We cannot escape fear. We can only transform it into a companion that accompanies us on all our exciting adventures. Take a risk a day. One small or bold stroke that will make you feel great once you have done it. Susan Jeffers. I cannot expect even my own art to provide all of the answers, only to hope it keeps asking the right questions. Grace Hardigan. That's it from that book. I do have one other book that I'd like to share. This book was assigned to me in my creative writing college course, and it had a profound impact on my perceptions around creativity. It's a compilation of letters which are responses from a seasoned poet to a novice poet. It's an interesting read because the book doesn't include letters from the novice poet, so as you read it, you're forced to deduce and assume what the novice poet may have written to the seasoned poet. I felt at times that the writer was addressing me directly. This is the book. I have a special edition because I love this book. I adore it. So when I saw this online, I was like, I have to get that version. But it's Letters to a Young Poet by Rainier Maria Rilke. I will also provide a link for this in the description. I'll also link a normal edition. Without further ado, here are my favorite excerpts from the book. If you will cling to nature, to the simple in nature, to the little things that hardly anyone sees and that can so unexpectedly become big and beyond measuring, if you have this love of inconsiderable things and seek quite simply, as one who serves, to win the confidence of what seems poor, then everything will become easier, more coherent, and somehow more conciliatory for you. Not in your intellect, perhaps, which lags marveling behind, but in your inmost consciousness, waking in cognizance. You are so young. So, before all beginning, and I want to beg you as much as I can, dear sir, to be patient toward all that is unsolved in your heart, and to try to love the questions themselves like locked rooms and like books that are written in a very foreign tongue. Do not now seek the answers which cannot be given you because you would not be able to live them. And the point is to live everything. Live the questions now. Perhaps you will then gradually, without noticing it, live along some distant day into the answer. Perhaps you do carry within yourself the possibility of shaping and forming as a particularly happy and pure way of living. Train yourself to it, but take whatever comes with great trust. And if only it comes out of your own will, out of some need of your inmost being, take it upon yourself and hate nothing. This is quote number 2. Think, dear sir, of the world you carry within you, and call this thinking what you will, whether it be remembering your own childhood or yearning toward your own future. Only be attentive to that which rises up in you, and set it above everything that you observe about you. What goes on in your inmost being is worthy of your whole love. You must somehow keep working at it and not lose too much time and too much courage in clarifying your attitude toward people. And this here will be the third and final quote from Letters to a Young Poet. And if there is one thing more that I must say to you, it is this. Do not believe that he who seeks to comfort you lives untroubled among the simple and quiet words that sometimes do you good. His life has much difficulty and sadness, and remains far behind yours. Were it otherwise, he would never have been able to find those words. Super wonderful book. Definitely recommend you getting it if you need a little inspiration. In an effort to inspire, as well as to set intention for this channel, I'm going to read you a poem that I wrote a few years back that continues to resonate with me. My plan for this channel is to explore all things that would fall under the creative umbrella, which essentially would be most things. So I'm just excited to create and to connect with you kind souls here. With that being said, if the thought of blood makes you queasy, I recommend you catch us on the next one because this poem does mention blood and it's probably not for you. This broken stance bleeds, blood red beams, bringing bridges down to feed my demons, to fill my weakness. Not for long, but I'll hold my tongue because I'm already so fucking undone. These taste buds are fiending for truth, or proof that I can be bruised, rooted, and wounded and still choose to refuse my faults. If I ever find the gall to remove these parts of no use, will there be anything left at all? If I'm bleeding out the rest of my breath into this reckless mess, can I find a new step? Pitter patter chatter, and its depth is the color of space against sun, against misplaced distaste for light. Massive fusion of a grander vision colors crimson in my mind's eye. Is this what they call sacrifice? Am I a masochist with a lover's plight? Questionably questioning figments of sight in this room where nothing is mine but this tongue does take its time to remind me of who I am becoming. My blood continues running out of places to hide from the havoc of this riverside, a dither shy of waking rhymes. My soul resides somewhere out of time, so I'm still chasing, and my heart won't stop racing when reality continually faces me breaking. I wonder how my wounds as my roots have not yet bled me out. Can't tell if it's nausea or the crimson sea raging war inside of me. Am I drowning in my victory? Or is this how I was meant to breathe? Bleeding out and running free. If you've made it to this point in the video, I want to extend my utmost gratitude to you for tuning in and for being part of this journey with me. But until next time, I hope you are well. I hope you're taking care of yourself and being mindful of the things that serve you and that don't serve you. And I will see you in the next one. Much love.